Oh me, oh my. Internet. We're one episode away from episode 50. So what does that mean, kids? If you do your math, we're at episode 49. I'm Wes Gardner, Comedy to Hobo. Welcome. It's been a week or so. About 2 weeks, in fact. Hope you guys are doing well out there in internet land. If you're watching on YouTube, we thank you so much, but you can find us everywhere. You know, iTunes and YouTube and Stitcher and Google Play Store and a bunch of other places.
Farmers Only, because
Farmers
that's actually
Only.
a thing now.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
Christian Mingle.
Damn it, now I gotta set up another one.
All the hot hits.
Oh, they'll love that.
That's Ashley Madison.
No.
Wasn't that a deal just made by some duder to bot other lonely guys into like giving money? I think it was. I think the guy they figured it out and they tried to do a lawsuit against him or like a class action lawsuit, and then the judge was like, "You're trying to do a class action lawsuit because you're a lonely guy that can't, no, you deserve to get swindled." And just lighten up. And of course, all the people on that, on all those sites, where it's like, I'm 21 and I just learned how to drink. Tee-hee. And I look like some weird Russian supermodel, but I don't know my way around Oregon. And you're like, this person does not fucking exist. I guarantee it. You have to have that realization one day. That if you have your phone alerts and an ad comes up and it says sexy singles near you, you are probably the sexy single. You see what I'm saying? There's one and it's you. And congrats. Now
Unless
they know
I'm getting those messages and then I realize I'm not the sexy single. So
yeah, you'll get double the messages sexy single and then super sexy single.
Yeah, and you're just like, what do we do? I know I'm neither one of these, and I'm not throwing money at this. No, it's not a thing. I'm not going to pay you just so I can send messages to fake people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, but we're joined by Mr. Nerd in the Bay, Marco Flores.
Hello.
Doing the dirty deeds on YouTube.
Doing the dirty. Yeah, man.
The dirty. Makes you take a shower after you go to those Facebook posts.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll talk about that going into the deep, the gray market area of YouTube conversations. So how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Yes, sir.
Good celebrating 800 and trying to
man.
get to 9.
You're flying. Here's the thing. I'm at 988 subscribers on my YouTube. You're gonna hit 1,000 before me. I know for a fact it's gonna happen.
Oh, man.
I'll be 6 away. It'll keep creeping, and then here comes Marco, just bamboozling, just bulldozing the door down.
Santino walking past you or something.
Yeah, he's just gonna and just drive by me. And I'm like, what? Oh, and we're joined by Moriarty. How are you?
I'm okay.
You're here.
I'm here. No, I woke up with a headache. I still have that headache. It has not gone away no matter what I've tried.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Is that migraine or is it more
No, it's not migraine status. It's just headache. It's just annoying headache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm okay.
It's good. At least it's not flu or anything.
Oh, thank God, no.
That's still a thing.
I have to get my flu shot because I work in a medical facility.
Oh, yeah.
And it beats wearing a mask that fogs up my glasses every day, so...
I had that picture whenever I had to go in and get all my prescriptions. I had that big old face mask. I walk in, I walk in, shuffle in, and my wife's with me, God bless her, she drove me. And then I walk in, and they're like, how can we help you, sir? I'm like, I think I have the flu. And they're like, put on this mask. And they hand it to me like a quarantine, just glance it over. Then I put it on. And I was like, I feel like I'm in a Clive Owen action movie, and we're about to rob a bank. I'm like an extra on Inside Man. And
You're about to catch a flight to Japan.
Right. I'm going to be in the second row at a New Japan
for
show.
ferries, so
That's true. Yeah. by the time the 14 weeks is up, I'll be pretty cured.
Yeah, exactly.
We got Mr. Todd EVF. How are you, sir?
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit. The new Twitch channel is just there's a lot that goes into it. It's not even funny. Like the single amount of like we hit our requirements. We hit 2 of the 3 requirements for affiliate status.
Yeah. Wow.
all we need is the follows now, which is great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
When the affiliate thing happened, I said these requirements are way too low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they legitimately are. We on the channel, we've done I think something like 60 hours of content already since the launch. Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember we ran the Gimmick Bag Marathon, which was like 30 something hours.
That's true.
And all
then
that counts as streamed hours.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So recorded content, because it now has to premiere, counts as a stream. If you run a VOD or reruns, as they call it now, it counts as a stream. So all that gets thrown in with your streamed hours. And it's like, other than that, I mean, we did, me and Maury did TakeOver and Royal Rumble live reaction on Twitch.
Yep. Oh, awesome.
Which was fun. It's something we're going to be doing on the channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, so I mean, there's that. It's just all the new graphics, all the, you know, trying to manage the new Facebook page as well. Because I mean, it's not the dirty groups, mind you, but it's just.
Oh, we'll get into those. We'll get you going.
I know that's coming, but no, I mean, just setting up the Precipice Podcast Network fan page and getting that all set up, and you know, kind of sprinkling in things here and there. It's just, it's fun. It's interesting. And, I mean, I know it's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And, I know as of right now announced, we have 2 podcasts on the network.
Yeah.
I know there's a third, which, I'm not sure if we'll be announcing that tonight or not, but,
Ooh.
But that's another thing that'll be very interesting, and I mean everything's kind of set up, ready to go for that announcement. So it's wonderful. It really is, and it would give another nice little place for some people to catch a podcast they may or may not know. So
cool. Yeah, it's called the XFL.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's a.
I refer to it as the Blue Justice of the Precipice Podcast Network. That's what I refer to it as.
It's the He Hate Me of the Precipice Network. That's the only guy I remember from XFL. That's the only guy. Like, there has to be somebody else.
The only guy I remember, however, the only team I remember are the New York, New Jersey Hitmen.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is kind of, isn't that a little, like, not racist isn't the right word, but isn't that a little, like...
On the nose? Yeah.
Yeah, like, here are the New York pasta chefs, and they're like, hey! Like, well, yeah. It's like, hey, here's Mr. Cannoli's blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, fuck. It says a Vince McMahon joint.
And a star quarterback... Tony Bagels Maritano.
Mickey Mombazzo. And he's like, hey, what are we doing here? Hey. It's like, turns into a Don Rickles bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. I'm not excited about the new XFL. But, I mean, at least something got acknowledged. 3 hours is far too much time for things.
That made me burst out. I laughed out. I spit out my drink. When he was like, 3 hours is a lot. We can't expect anyone to sit down for 3 whole hours.
Really?
And I was like looking around, like, is he high right now? Like, your entire business deals with a 3-hour show on Monday nights. I'm convinced. Like, I don't think Vince has dementia. I'm not saying that, but
he's getting there though.
let's just sleep like a little bit. Little bits are coming out. Like, what do I do? Oh yeah, the wrestling thing. Oh sure. Like he's very much. He definitely has more than one basket now, but he's not the young, spry Vince McMahon that we all know from 30 years ago.
So, I mean, with the XFL back, do we think that the World Bodybuilding Federation is going to be coming back too?
God, I hope so. There was we were talking about card magic earlier. There was a magician, and he had a little bow tie. Dude was pretty much butt naked, except for this little bow tie and like a little Speedo. And he would come out with a baton, and he's like, do, 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 and it was like a little twirler thing. But then like sparks would shoot out of it. And I was like, da 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 da. And this is a grown ass man. And he's like 355 pounds of muscle. And he has like this bouffant coiffed haircut. He was one of the bodybuilders. I was like, who's this guy? And then someone else comes out dressed like a Mad Max character. And then I was like, you're trying to put personality on people and on a thing that has no personality. Like the whole that's all it was. And then they would do like they would do like the best in show poses and stuff, and like blah blah blah, and then they'd leave, like they'd go away. So it was all an entrance, and like rock music would play. I was like, this is kind of shitty. Like this is a little not very good.
This is the worst male review I've ever seen.
Yeah, what? This isn't the Lawrence Welk show. And then like change the channel. Like QVC's really dropped the ball lately. I don't understand this at all.
Oh man.
See, that'd be a good gimmick. Be someone who's constantly watching the wrong thing or like expecting something else. These Lifetime films just I don't get it anymore.
They're really pushing the envelope here.
Like, yeah, whoa. Those head writers for the Hallmark Channel really got something here.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're showing all this violence. Like you're watching Game of Thrones. And it's just like, no, this is the Hallmark Channel. They don't have Game of Thrones.
It's like, no.
I know Game of Thrones if I saw Game of Thrones.
This is that Candace girl from Full House. She's basically in every one of those movies, by the way. If you watch Lifetime or Hallmark, she's in all of them. And she always plays the same character. She's the girl that like, I'm a dentist and I moved to Vermont and my old ex-boyfriend lives here, but we might rekindle that flame. But no, now I got another call from New York City and I should go to the big city. So do I pick the big city or my one true love? And it's always the true love. Here's a spoiler. It's all the same ending as well. I guess we could just go visit New York.
Even the one that's like a murder mystery, like the entire time, and it ends that same fucking way.
My favorite one, I'm gonna go off on a tirade about this. My favorite Lifetime movie. I need to remember what it was called. Someone can Google it. We might Google it right now. It was about a high school kid, a high school boy, and he gets addicted to pornography. And it is the most written by a 70-year-old woman that you could possibly imagine. Because he's a swimmer. He's a swimmer in high school. And he, he's doing great. He's on his way to nationals. He's doing awesome. But then he discovers, I kid you not, a Sears catalog. The old school Sears catalog with the lingerie stuff, right? Yeah. So this is what I mean. This was written by a 70-year-old woman and what they think pornography is. So he starts like sneaking peeks at the Sears catalog, right? And like his grades start going down.
Is it that?
He stays up too late.
His secret life?
Yes, that's the one. And okay, so let me draw out this story. You can read the Wikipedia; it probably says it better. But here's the deal: I'll tell you what I remember. So, like, he starts peeping at the Sears catalog, right, and seeing all the lingerie ladies, and then he starts staying up late. He starts drinking Red Bull. Like, this is his downward spiral, right? He was a good boy, but then he was tainted by those nasty witches in the Sears catalog, and then he starts staying up late, and like late for him is like 11:30 at night. So he stays up until 11:30, and then he wakes up and he's all like bags under his eyes and stuff, and this just keeps continuing, right? And like, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. So he gets to nationals, right? He gets to nationals on his swim team, and he comes in third. In nationals.
Oh no.
His family's so upset. They're so mad at him. They're like, Jimmy, you could have. This is a huge embarrassment, Jimmy. And I'm like, what the? He got third in national. Like, I lost it. Oh my god! Like, it reminded me of you guys remember $1 Million Baby, the Hilary Swank movie where she's a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember one of the fights. Like, she gets hit in the back of the head or something, and then the fight's canceled, like disqualified. The other woman, or basically in the movie, like it was a tie, but they had to like cancel the fight or something. And then her family's so upset with her, like, well, you lost that fight. You lost the fight. It was disqualified. Like, who are they to be the scholars of boxing that, like, oh, well, technically. No, she won the fight because the other person got disqualified. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's that cyber seduction, his secret life is that for like 2 hours to where you'll be like, this is his downward spiral. It's like, this is like a Tuesday afternoon for any other normal human being. Like, oh, he has cups of coffee and now he's addicted to caffeine. Like, come on, man. But yeah, it was written by a 70-year-old woman who was very upset that her grandson found a Sears catalog and was like, I'm gonna write this story. This story must be told.
I'm looking at some of these really bad ones right now, and I'm like, I remember having the displeasure of accidentally seeing some of these.
Oh God.
I mean, it was just...
You don't watch them by choice. You happen to stumble upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, I mean, when I would spend a lot of time with my grandmother, she would...
Oh, no.
We lost him.
There we
go. We are.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Skype decided that it wanted to say, fuck you.
To update?
I guess. I don't know.
They're flagging you.
Maybe. Who knows? But
Razzle dazzle. Yapple dapple.
There you go.
Oh, well, that's a strike.
It is what it is.
So yeah, I mean, like I would watch these with my my grandmother. When I would go over her house, like that's all she would have on is Lifetime channel. So a lot of times I would end up having to watch these. So it's like, and she was like, "These are the best movies ever," and I'm like, "No, they're not."
It's all wholesome, really like a hot mug of cocoa. Like that's what it is. It's like grandma movies. That's what the whole channel is. It's like, oh, it's just tugs at the heartstrings, and like all the movies are very sweet. Like, oh, what a sweet little movie.
Compelling, even.
What a visceral. Visceral. Can you imagine a visceral Lifetime movie? Gee, it's like Training Day. Like someone does PCP and you're like, what the fuck?
It's ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. So,
but it is all kind of the same movie.
Oh, it is absolutely.
But hey, you know what? Like Nicholas Sparks writes the same fucking book every time. People still buy that shit, you know. So hey, if there's a market and you can find that market, good on you, man. Absolutely. Yep. It's all what we say about, hey, if you're a good titty streamer, great. You do you. You know what I mean? Like, and I still laugh about that because people are so upset. They'll go into the comments of these, and the girls are just like playing League of Legends or something. Like they're playing actual games and they're doing stuff and they're interacting with chat. And then someone in chat's like, how dare you? I've worked for 4.5 years and then you've been on Twitch for 20 minutes and have more followers. And in the back of my mind, I was like, man, that guy must fucking suck at streaming. Like, that's the first thing I think of. It's like, someone came in 20 minutes, outdid your 4 years of work, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Like, unbelievable. But they never think of it that way. They're like, oh, the world's against me. And it's like, maybe you suck. Maybe you suck. It's okay to suck. There's a lot of people that suck. I guarantee you, if one of the four of us wrote a book and put it on Kindle or tried to publish it, it would not be the worst book on Kindle. I promise you.
Not at all.
No.
Not even in the bottom 20%. You know what I mean? Like
that right now.
Oh, the worst books. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's some titles.
Twilight.
Cyber seduction. His secret life. Oh man, but yeah, okay. So we'll talk a little bit of a lot of wrestling happened. A whole lot of
too
wrestling
much.
happened.
Way too much.
A fair amount.
Yeah. Quite
Too
a,
much would be if it was a week-long affair, 24 hours a fucking day.
Well,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
WrestleMania.
you say, yeah, maybe not, and at the same time, I'm the one that watched all of it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like,
No one
Yeah.
forced you to watch New Japan. You put that upon yourself.
I mean, how can
I
you
watch
not
it as a
watch New Japan?
True.
But yeah, the Kota stuff made it all worth it.
It did.
So good.
Well, night one of New Beginning. I mean, Minoru Suzuki made it my night.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
ripping apart Tanahashi. Just fucking.
Ooh,
Then the
savage.
next night they made the announcement. They're just like, we have a special announcement. The announcement is Tanahashi will not be doing any more of these shows for this tour because his knee is fucked.
Yeah, oh, that poor guy. And he's been having those knee problems for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I know since like Wrestle Kingdom 8 at least. And now we're on what, 12? Yeah, we just had 12. So
I mean, the biggest thing is, it's like he had the bicep injury in May, which he didn't have taken care of. He's got the knee injuries that just keep stacking,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and he doesn't get it taken care of. And now it's just like New Japan's like, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
You got to take care of these.
Yeah, you got to finally do it. Yeah. There's other people that can hold up the company while you go take care of yourself and then come
Mhm.
back in like a year.
And I'm glad it's Minoru Suzuki, because there's no better person than a
Not
fucking
at all.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, what a great replacement for Tanahashi. Like, the feel good, eat your vitamins. Like,
Yep.
the Hulkster of New Japan. And, like,
Yeah.
let's bring in and replace him with, like, Crazy Steve from, from TNA.
Oh, and I mean that's also the funny part about it, because you got. I mean, I shared the press conference afterwards,
Mhm.
and Suzuki's just a dick. I love it.
Yeah.
Where he took, he sits
Shook
at
up
the
a beer
counter.
can.
He didn't just shake that beer can. He pounded it on the table, pointed at them, opened it, sprayed it all over.
So good.
Finishes the
To
press
be
conference.
fair, that's the only way to drink a Coors.
Good, him and Suzuki-gun did it at the end of his little press conference, where they just fucking
that's
sprayed
great.
beer at the entire
Sprayed the
fucking
media.
interview. People, it was great.
So awesome. Oh, but speaking of that, so we did not record the week of the anniversary show for Raw.
Oh
did we?
yeah,
No, I don't
Okay.
think we did.
Yeah, I think because that was the last week, and we didn't
Mhm.
record last week.
Right.
So that whole show was. It started off great, and then it ended upsetting. Like that, it was nostalgia for all the wrong reasons,
Uh-huh.
oh absolutely.
and it was like bad nostalgia.
Mhm.
Like it was like, here's the 2006 version of DX. It's like who liked the 2006 version of DX? Like, raise your hand, please, because they don't exist. Like the glowy green stick, and like they all dress like they're going to a rave or something. Like,
Mhm.
nah, you know what I mean? Like that's not the DX we want. We want true Attitude Era dropping, S bombs, F bombs. I understand it's a different time and whatever, but do something. I'm glad that they kind of gave the push to the Good Brothers and Finn.
Yeah.
Only to
But
bury them.
but the same thing happened to what are their names? I can't even think of the tag team.
Ascension.
Yes, they got that
Ascension.
same exact rub on the what was it? The not 20th anniversary.
Raw 1000 or something like that.
Yeah, or like 1500. Yeah, one of those big anniversary shows. They got that same push, and that didn't seem to do shit. So it's just to get themselves over again.
Yeah.
And then Undertaker with a very weird, like, he came out and his verbiage was very direct. He was like, I'm here. This is the place where my career officially really started. And now that I'm here, I think it's time to finally announce. And then I was like, oh shit, he's going to say he's done. Like, this is it. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out. I'm done wrestling.
Has anybody seen my old hat and coat?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what he said. He goes, I'm here to announce that we think about all the people that passed away. Rest in peace. And then he, like, ran away. You're like, well, what? Like, that's a weird fucking promo. Like, you were setting up this big monumental, like, oh my god, he's finally gonna say it. Like, we all know it, but he's gonna say he's not wrestling ever again. Then the next Monday, they're like, oh, we know how Goldberg's coming in this year. So's the Undertaker for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great time to announce it. But no, he was like, oh, may all of our fallen brothers rest in peace. It's like, really? It's like your catchphrase now? We're just gonna put that on the cereal box?
I mean,
that's what it felt like.
and taking souls, I guess. So, I mean,
that's right.
That was one of his last promos about like, oh, I'm back, digging holes, taking souls, and then nothing. Oh,
what a great grief would it be if whenever he gets inducted, he comes out as the American Badass? How amazing! Oh, I would be so. He comes in wearing like a FUBU shirt and like like a visor, one of those Guy Fieri visors with like the or yellow hair, and like he's just dressed. He's in retirement clothes. Hey guys, I'll be at Mar-a-Lago, and then there he goes. There's the Undertaker. Yes, there goes the Undertaker, as we always remember him, and he's dressed in like a panda outfit. It's like he's never done that. What the fuck is happening?
He gets inducted by Fred Durst.
That's our goal now. How can we bury everyone at the Hall of Fame? Like, every Hall of Fame induction. Oh my god. Now, yeah, okay, so perfect. It would be, let's see. So you got Fred Durst inducting.
For Undertaker, yeah.
Undertaker. You have Pete Rose inducts Kane. Or Pete Rose dressed as a chicken. Like that WrestleMania where he dressed like a chicken and Kane gave him the tombstone. You have
I think Goldberg would have to be inducted by Ralphus, head of Jericho's security.
That'd be good. Yeah, just make it for Smarks, man. Just make that whole thing just the biggest inside joke that you could like have Shawn Michaels, like if he gets inducted again by like Dave Meltzer, like just bring in, let's see, have AJ inducted by like Kenny Omega, like people that aren't even in the company, so they're like, who's that?
No. I mean, we'll just have Dixie Carter come out and induct him.
Oh god,
oh, there you go.
Dixie Carter just as the MC of the whole thing.
Oh,
it's not King anymore. It's
gotcha. I mean, if she's not going to induct AJ, then I guess we got to get Jeff Jarrett. We'll make sure he has a few and some tortillas ahead of time.
Yeah, that would be good. And then for inducting, let's see, for inducting any of the McMahons, it'll be Vince Russo. He'll be there.
No, that's inducting Cornette. That's inducting Cornette.
Yeah. And Cornette would just come out and smash him in the face with a tennis racket. Or no, have the... No, and to induct Jim Cornette, it will be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Yeah, the Young Bucks.
He gets inducted by Yoshiko.
Yeah, they bring out the doll and they're like the broom and the little girl that Kenny Omega wrestled. Like, come right this way, ma'am. And somehow she's still 9 years old. Like she's just that's the gimmick. It's like she's an ageless child.
So Cornette is being escorted by Yoshiko and the kid.
Like the double arm, like the valet walk. The doll on one arm and this little girl on the other. Like, thank you all for inviting me.
Mick Foley will be there taking dick flips from Joey Ryan.
Right. Joey Ryan's just greased up with baby oil in the back, like, yes.
Has Foley been inducted yet, or
no?
Wow, no, he hasn't.
I am the perfect person to induct him. Abyss.
Oh God, yes.
Thank you, Foley God. Here's your achievement.
Holy God.
Now throw me off the stage into thumbtacks.
That's what he does. So it's like a bridal shower whenever they throw rice, but it's like thumbtacks. Hooray! Hip hip hooray!
A wedding table full of thumbtacks.
Yeah.
I mean, that little thumbtack comment takes me back to Saturday night, but I mean, we'll get to that. That was.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, speaking of that whole weekend of wrestling.
Yes.
So we can start with TakeOver. Has there been a bad TakeOver?
I mean, they're
so.
given like a month and a half to get their matches together. They're fucking better, but not be.
Yeah, that's true. They get time to tell the whole story and
Not that I can really think of.
yeah,
There's-
because
I've yet to see a bad one.
There's usually like a throwaway match. in there.
Right. Right.
So I mean, but other than that, usually they're firing on all cylinders. You know.
Mhm.
So this past TakeOver, what would the throwaway match be?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Velveteen.
Yep.
Yeah. That actually was not like it was what it was, but
Mm-hmm.
to get Dream over, like sure. Like make him the lovable. Here's the thing though that I worry about. Velveteen Dream could get super hot on NXT and he's white hot. He goes to the main roster. Yeah, exactly. He'll go to main roster and flop. Because they already have Gold Dust.
Yeah. That's
The only
basically
thing they
kind of-
can do is make them a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have them
that'd
go up
be
against
awesome.
the Ascension every week. You know, and see who gets buried worse.
But that's kind of been like the name of the game for the majority of those that have come out of NXT.
Yeah.
Is that they've been booked strong in NXT and then they come up to the main roster and it's like, well, fuck this.
Totally. Like Ty Dillinger. I mean,
Mhm.
when's the last time we actually saw him?
Not at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Not even then. He didn't even get to come out.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him. He was there.
He was on the
was there.
floor. Yeah. But yeah, like go ahead.
I was gonna say, arguably, like if I made this comment during the live reaction. Ono, we all know Chris Hero is more than ready and capable to be on the main roster. He's there just to make people, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's a gatekeeper. Yeah.
That was Joe's role
Mhm.
when he was down there.
That's true. Yeah, and it seemed like Tommy was for a little bit. Like
I mean, they really couldn't do much else with him, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. And like even like 205 Live, don't know if that's the right fit for Tommy. I'm totally
I don't think 205
fine.
Live is the right pick for anybody.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
I think they're building up that roster. What they're doing at this point.
Yeah,
They want
having
another
Spud be the
NXT.
GM.
Yeah.
Waste that fucking talent.
Yeah, they I think they want another NXT. They want another
Probably.
product that gets as much hype and
Mhm.
all that talk that NXT does. But I mean 205 Live, you can't really have too many characters.
No.
Because that's just too much to deal with. Like so I got to pay attention to all of what's going on NXT, then all of what's going on SmackDown, and all of what's going on Raw, and all of
And
what's going on
205 Live.
like no freaking way.
And the Mixed Match Challenge.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook Live.
Which
Woo.
arguably the Mixed Match Challenge is one of the best things that has ever been given to us. So
Yeah.
I think they're
yes.
experimenting with the whole Facebook or social, like what they do with the WWE Network. Really.
Yes, yeah. I'm curious as if this is all kind of a ploy to get, and we'll talk about like the Ronda Rousey thing, but is this a way to get more money from USA Network? Is to-
absolutely.
you know what I mean? To be like, here's more of a value proposition. We have exclusive deals on Facebook, but hey, if you guys want the Mixed Match Challenge, we could just pull that off Facebook and hand it to you guys if you guys are willing to spend some more money.
Mhm.
I mean that seems like they're just leveraging.
Mhm.
And what's bad is I don't think they're ever going to leave TV. A lot of people are like, oh, just put all the live shows on the network, and then you don't have to worry about, all of that. But a majority of the money WWE gets is not merch. It's advertisement. It's advertising money. It's like Snickers and Papa John's and all the
Jolly
people
Ranchers.
The Skittles.
Keep on sucking.
Skittles, Pops.
Carball.
Stuff. Yeah.
I love how Carball is one of their sponsors. It tickles me every time.
Oh, and so I mean that's where their bread and butter is. So they're going to appeal to their investors and the main advertisers. But I'm wondering, if they're, like you said, Marco, they're expanding their reach. Yeah. That way they can then go into USA Network and be like, listen, we have all these social media presence, we have all this going on, and so now we're worth more. So now let's get more advertisers so we make more money.
They're resurrecting Tout. This is the end game here. They're going to bring back Tout.
The one central location.
What? Yeah. Tout is going to come back.
Daniel Bryan was right. Join us on Tout. And they're like, that hasn't been a thing in 4 years. And he's like, join us on Tout.
It's going to happen.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm kind of curious as what your guys' opinion was on NXT TakeOver of the Ember Moon match with the MMA girl. Can't think of her name.
Shayna Baszler.
Yes, Baszler. So watching it, I was a bit like, I get what they're going for, but I don't know if Baszler's ready. I don't know if she's ring ready on telling the story.
Yeah.
But then, as the match started going longer and longer, I was like, maybe it's a different type of story, because I'm starting to get into this. And then she does that brutal, arm stomp thing, to where, they'll put their arm and, bam, down on it. And I'm like, oh, God, it looks like $1 million.
Todd's face during that was fucking priceless.
It's genius. That sort of, joint stuff is great.
No, fucking nope. No.
Well, because it gets that reaction. Because people know that has to hurt. You can't really fake it. Even though they are faking it, you're still your mind is no, I don't want to see that. So it looks more hardcore. Like we've talked about a few times before, I think the best thing that happened to pro wrestling was UFC getting popular. Because now, all these holds and wrist locks and stuff like that, people have a deeper appreciation for it because they saw, Cain Velasquez put an ankle lock on and a dude tapped in an MMA fight. So now Kurt Angle wants to use it again. He puts on an ankle lock. Now it has more gravity to it because this is a submission and it does end fights. And fucking so-and-so used it in the UFC and he beat, 7 out of 10 people with it. So now you have more finishers that you can use. That used to just be old chain wrestling techniques. But now you could be I'm going to put on a headlock and then pry it in, and that's my finisher. And people believe it. They're like, oh, God, he got him in the thing. Whatever they want to call it. The hangman's noose. Oh, my God. And then, it turns it into the claw. Remember the claw from, mandible claw.
Mandible claw.
Yeah. That'd be great. I wonder if with those big old gloves, just, I can't bend my fingers. I'll get you.
Crush submission.
But yeah, what were you guys' thoughts on that kind of Ember Moon MMA stuff?
I enjoyed it immensely.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of cringe moments. And I mean, there's just, somebody created a GIF of one of my reactions where it was just and it was during that arm spot. And I just, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh. I got the shakes out of it, shit. It was just oh, fuck no.
Brutal.
But it was a very brutal spot. And then the camera angles they used. Whenever there was a spot like that, they would replay it 4 or 5 times to remind you how horrible it was.
Yeah.
And then they would show you the one alternate angle where you're looking at it and it just looks like 20 times worse than what you just saw the 4 times previous.
Right.
And with Ember Moon, it was during the stomp, like you see her shoulder pop and you're just like, no, done.
Right.
Done.
Yep.
And I just could not fucking do that. No, it was bad. It was really bad. I mean, it's not the only time I cringed during that entire show.
Yeah.
The story they told in the ring was, and even outside of the ring, spoilers, was very well done.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
think
it.
So too. Yeah.
I think that I don't want to say that they're pushing. They're pushing Baszler a little too fast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they got to have her ready for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, to take on the other UFC woman.
No, to team up with the other UFC woman to go up against the
4 horsewomen.
Well, yeah.
Or Asuka and
Well, I mean, Asuka's going to get her. She has her match set where the winner of we say winner, but it's not really winning if you have to survive the Elimination Chamber only to go up against Asuka at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no shit. See, I have a feeling, and like we could just dig right into it. I have a feeling that Asuka match is going to be a triple threat match, and that's where they're going to shoehorn Ronda Rousey in. I'm that close to thinking, because that way Ronda doesn't have to work as hard.
Yeah.
Asuka gets the rub of the same type of rub that Steve Austin got with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all that going on. Yeah, I see that being the WrestleMania match. That's why they did the whole build with Ronda putting her hand out and then Asuka swatting it away. It's like that. There's going to be a receipt. Yeah, there's going to be a receipt for that at WrestleMania. I can almost guarantee it.
I mean, arguably, depending on how good she gets in the time that she finishes filming her movie and makes it to the Performance Center before WrestleMania, depends on what they're going to do with her, most likely.
Yeah.
If she gets a good bit of training in and they feel it's the right move, absolutely.
Yeah.
If she doesn't get enough time in, she's still got to be on WrestleMania, so it's most likely going to be her teamed up with probably Braun against Triple H and Steph.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's another thing,
True. And I don't know what it is, and Ronda Rousey's huge star power, so it makes total sense. I would argue that the success of Ronda Rousey gave us the women's division as it is right now in WWE, because Ronda Rousey was proof that yes, women can main event major sporting events. Mm-hmm. They can sell a shit ton of tickets. They can become a national brand. They can become, she was that entity. And of course you have Holly Holm, you got Cyborg, you got all these other female competitors, but Ronda was the one. Before her, they were kind of propping Gina Carano up to be that. But then, Gina Carano, I guess she just got out the game. She started acting. Yeah. She started doing that side of it. So now here's Ronda. She comes in. She's a good interviewer. So she'll go on ESPN and she's well-spoken. And, so she fit the bill. She was like The Rock, right? It's like, oh, here's someone that has all of it. Please push them as hard as possible. Dana was smart.
As long as WWE makes sure that she doesn't say stupid shit on Twitter, everything will be good.
Yeah, freaking flat Earth bullshit.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like, what is it? There was the whole controversy with when she was with UFC about the Sandy Hook thing.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
she's a truther. Like she's jet fuel can't melt steel beams or like whatever. I'm like, the fuck does she know about that? No,
and it's
get
just,
out of here.
It's if they can kind of prevent shit like that from happening, then absolutely they have something great on their hands.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to attribute her to the attitudes in the WWE, I'm gonna kind of I agree to a point, but let's look down into Florida, because Florida had a little promotion called Total Nonstop Action.
Yeah.
And they had a phenomenal women's division.
That's true. This is Gail Kim. Gail Kim is a rock star.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I mean, we had that. We also had the emerging like Shimmer and Shine, and then you had Stardom and all the other organizations. And it just took them seeing, oh, hey, people want to pay to see completely female shows.
Yes. Yeah.
For us to kind of be like, you know what? Maybe having them wrestle in mud and Jello is not a good idea.
The pillow fight thing gets old after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And factor in the botch of Kelly forgetting how to take off a bra. It's a whole other.
Yeah, we can. Don't worry, we'll get to Kelly botches because that women's rumble, woo, buddy.
Oh yeah,
Botch City. And it was
still
a great.
Not the worst botch of the rumble.
No,
that was a current superstar.
Oh, Sasha.
No, that was on Raw. Carmella not knowing what move they were supposed to be doing with Becky Lynch, and they're just kind of like feeling each other up.
Yeah, I like the Sasha kicks in the corner.
Yeah,
you see the phantom kicks. They're like ugh, ugh, and then she just stops. She like walks away.
She's looking away like, huh?
What's happening? Yeah, there's some kinks to work out in that women's rumble, but
yeah, a little bit.
It was fine. It was good.
Surprisingly enough, Dana Brooke looked really good in it. So good.
Who knew? Yeah, like yeah.
Just don't have her go and do headbutts to the turnbuckles, and we're good.
Oh,
yeah.
God,
with her fucking hand just slapping the goddamn pad. Like your face is nowhere near there.
Oh. Like tapping it. No.
Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, we'll get into that all at Rumble, but yeah, it's
so NXT. That Adam Cole and Aleister Black match was way better than it had any right to be.
It was so good.
It started and I was like, okay, these guys are going to get to play a little bit, have a little bit of fun. But here are two really great technical wrestlers, and now they're basically like doing a hardcore match. I was like, oh, this is kind of a gimme. Every time I see, it was always a shame for me to see Eddie Guerrero in like a tables match. It's like, don't fucking do a table. Like, make it a 2 out of 3 falls. That guy can wrestle his ass off. Let him wrestle. Let him go out and do what he loves to do. Don't put a gimmick on him. So then they start, going into it and everything. And, it's Philly. So they're wild anyway for all the hardcore shit. So
fucking Philly.
It starts picking up. And I was like, wait, these guys are pretty good at these weapons matches. Like, they got a lot of range. It was like seeing an actor that used to do comedies, but now they do really good drama, and you're like, wow, they have a lot of skill here. You see, and of course Adam Cole has done all kinds of matches. But I saw Aleister Black when he was Tommy End, but I don't remember Tommy End doing a lot of gimmick matches, really.
No.
So this was the first time I was like, I wonder how he's gonna do. He did great. It was awesome. Like, they were, I think the biggest, build up is whenever there was one table out and it was catty corner next to the turnbuckle. So then Aleister Black goes, he grabs another one and everyone's like, yeah, stack it on that one. Like, stack it on the other table. And he goes and he looks around and he looks at everyone and everyone's like, do it, stack it. And then he goes to the side and puts it right next to it. And you hear everyone go, oh, like the whole Philly crowd's just like, oh. But big props to him. The shot where he's on the turnbuckle, takes a chair shot to the face, didn't look down once to see if he was headed towards the tables. Like, he took the hit and he just he just fell straight back. It was the trust fall. Like, he just shut his eyes and just fell. And I was like, good for him, because at least it's not like a John Cena back bump to where he looks down and makes sure that the mat is under him. It's like, yes, the mat's right there. It didn't move. You're fine. Don't eyeball it. Just do the bump. But yeah, Aleister Black, a 20 or 11-foot drop about, and he just sandbags it. Just and
the Philly crowd loved it.
I mean, yeah. Because I will say a lot, I can talk shit on the Philly crowd, but they do appreciate good workers.
They do.
They always have. That's what made ECW so good. If you were good, you got rewarded. You can look at Tommy Dreamer's whole thing. When he first started, he was a little rough around the edges. They were kind of like, this guy kind of sucks. But then as his career progressed through ECW and he finally won the belt, oh my God, like a riot started when
ultimately
he won.
the moment that changed Dreamer was the caning.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Right.
And the fact that he wouldn't back down, he earned the respect of that Philly crowd.
yeah.
And then after that, it was just like Dreamer, like this is the thing, you know?
Yeah, he's the guy. So we're
Yeah.
on his side now.
I mean, even if he loses and is only given the title because nobody else is ready for it, you know, he didn't want it. So
yeah. And then I think, of course, the biggest spot of the match is Adam Cole being crazy and taking the chairs.
Oh my
and then
God,
spinning them back around.
That was the best.
Oh, the moment I saw them do it too, they did it. You saw the two hooks, and I was like, okay, they're gonna taunt that something's going to happen, but they're gonna reverse it, go through another table. They're gonna do something. But like, what a great deal! And Adam Cole takes that shit in the ribs, and it was like, you know, whenever it's like in NASCAR, you know, the bad crashes happen when they're not spectacular. Like when a car just goes and then it hits something and then it comes to a complete stop immediately. You're like, that guy could be dead. Like you just you're like, that's terrible. This was the type of thing that happened. The chairs didn't move. It wasn't a big loud crash and all this stuff. You couldn't even really hear it. You could hear a small little thud as he goes like, boop. And you're like, oh, like you just knew, because it wasn't pompous, it wasn't flamboyant, it just hurt. That shit hurt.
Yep.
Poor guy walks out in the Rumble like,
yeah, his ribs all taped up
my
and stuff.
ribs. Like dilapidated Frankenstein's monster. Like, why did they put me in this match?
I mean, between that and the Ember Moon arm spot, I mean, those were my two like hard to watch spots of the entire weekend. I mean, I could watch fucking Tanahashi get his leg basically ripped off, no problem.
Oh, and see, the one that got me was in the main event, that last spot where they're on the outside and almost sprints and knees against the deal, like. It looked perfect. Yeah. I mean, you could even tell, and of course, Gargano sells like a boss, so his eyes are already glazed over anyway. So you're like, oh, he tried to kill Gargano right there. Like his head just got like fucked up, and he's like, where am I? But yeah, that was the other one where I was like, oh, they kept showing it, and then the slower it would go, it's just like his face presses back, and then the loud smack of the turnbuckle, and you're like, that's a rough one.
Yeah. Yeah, during the Cole match though, that table spot, I mean, the only way it could have gotten better is if there was barbed wire thumbtacks, it was on fire, and there was Legos and hard candies on the thing.
Yeah, and then
take it to the extreme.
Yeah, Spike Dudley runs out and like bulldogs him off.
And you know, my comment was the only way that spot could have been better is if that table had barbed wire, thumbtacks, and it was on fire with Legos, flaming Legos, because those are the worst Legos.
Flaming Lego. Oh my God. How are these still on fire?
And, I mean, it's just little moments like that where I didn't think, like, I knew it was going to be a great match between the two. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Because the more and more I see of the Aleister Black character, I'm like, that has a potential to, on the main roster, if they do handle it right, to be what Bray Wyatt should have been. Is the sort of Undertaker, here's someone, we're going to pass the torch to this person who's like the assassin. And, you know, dark lights, big entrance, like moody type stuff.
The vampire entrance.
Oh, so sick. I still think his song is kick-ass. Him fucking like raising up. The funniest thing, I can't remember what YouTube thing it was, but it showed the New Day making fun of the entrance. So like Xavier's on the ground like on his deal, and like Big E, like it's like a trust fall. So Kofi like does the move, and then they push him back up, and he goes like ba 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 ba, and like comes back up. And I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Big E, because he was so good at the Rumble. Oh, he was so good at the Rumble. Like he was great on the Raw 25, or yeah, the 25th anniversary. I laughed forever because he came out doing his like gumpy dance, and like he was just gyrating for like half an hour outside of the ring. That's all he was doing. Every time they would try to do a dramatic cut and pan to somebody in the ring, you could see his head like bobbing around, like and then like I think he gave pancakes to Kurt Hawkins.
He's
like,
Slater.
Yeah, he just kept doing it. Like, here's 15 pancakes. Like, surprise pancakes.
Let me shove them in your face.
Yeah, like, and he takes them out of his onesie. Like, why do you have those? Like, why do you have them?
Why not?
Some people like titty pancakes. What can I say?
Sweaty pancakes.
Don't ask where he's keeping that syrup. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair play.
Ew.
Oh, but then we got like incredible main event at NXT, like genuine match of the year candidate, and that's saying a whole lot because of how good Wrestle Kingdom was.
It was very well structured. It told a great story. Had some decent false finishes.
Yeah.
And I mean, all in all, I mean, I'm no Meltzer, but it was definitely a strong 4.5.
Yeah. I would think that. Yeah, 4 and 3/4, like right around there. And it was so funny to see the reaction on Twitter because they were like, "Oh, the wrong guy won. Gargano should have won." I'm like, absolutely not. Gargano shouldn't have won. Because, one, you want Almas to look as strong as possible. But two, Gargano doesn't need the belt. He has Ciampa. You give him Ciampa WrestleMania weekend, that place is going to fucking explode. That's your build. That's your build. They don't even need a deal. Ciampa can keep like getting in Gargano's way of getting the belt until Gargano stops being the nice preppy underdog. Like, hey gang, we're gonna do it together. Let's hooray! Like, where I'm the people's champ type of guy. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go after the belt, but I'm gonna kill him first. Like that's your build where the nice guy snaps and then he just demolishes Ciampa. They have a 30-minute classic. You know, get tons of false finishes. Then he gets the pin over Ciampa. Done. That's your whole gimmick right there.
Arguably, I would say, considering the bad blood, storyline wise, Iron Man would probably be a better way to go about it.
Oh, so that'd be good. And another thing you could do. Oh, and this would just be dastardly shit. Get Ciampa. Have him be champion somehow. I don't know how it would work. He's still out with the injury and stuff. But like through some weird underhanded, they sign this contract, I sign here, you sign that. Oh, wait, I have the belt. Ha ha. And then like, oh, that motherfucker. Like that way people are just so upset. Like, oh, he's going to get his. Then they have a number one contender tournament and then Gargano wins it. So not only is it champion Gargano, it's for the belt. WrestleMania weekend. Like, you keep upping those stakes and have that be your main event. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. But no, it'll probably end up being let's see who's on that roster. The big Hans guy, who I can't even think of his name, but he has the big like like pilgrim beard.
Is he Insanity?
No. It's
it's one of the it's from the non-War Machine guys.
Yeah, it's
Heavy Machinery.
Or no, it's not even them. It's his name is like
Lars Sullivan.
Lars Sullivan, that's it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it'll be Lars Sullivan versus who's someone else on NXT that we're like, who's that guy? That will be what they
Velveteen
do.
Dream.
Oh no,
dude, he's gonna get. This is gonna be a good year for him. I have that feeling that like.
I really don't like the character.
Really?
I really don't.
It really just does feel like Goldust to me, which is fine. I mean, that works.
It's Goldust if it was Prince playing the role.
Yeah.
That's the way I get it, you know?
Yeah. I did think it was great, his interest at NXT, whenever he had his, like, Cabana boys, like, holding the pillows, and he comes up and he's like, thank you, I'm going to take this right here, and thank you, I'm going to take that. It just made me laugh. I was like, this is so great. And then he like had the Muhammad Ali picture on his pants of like, I'm gonna stand over Cassius Ono like a boss, like
He has
Muhammad
the
Ali
weirdest
over
fucking pants, and I actually kind of love them. I don't know what it is.
It's like the best like boxing. Yeah, it's like the old Muay Thai, like those Muay Thai like boxing pants, and so it's so great. And then whenever he says, "I'm gonna knock out Cassius Ono in 30 seconds," and you're like, "What?"
No, you're not.
And then they open the match with him getting a clean shot on him, and then he drops, and the place fucking erupts. And I was like, "All right, this is great. Like, do this forever. It's fine." And then Cassius Ono like stands back up, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like you pissed him off.
I think the Velveteen Dream. I think he's only 22. He's really young, like stupid young.
Who was it in TNA that had that? Was it Orlando?
Yeah.
What was it? Orlando Jones? Is that what his name is?
I think so.
Orlando Jordan.
Jordan. Yeah, Orlando Jordan. So
with his weird fucking costumes of like caution tape and shit.
Yes. He was
more Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, he was the gay flamboyant Dennis Rodman, like I'm gonna come down from the rafters and I'm gonna, Phantom of the Opera type shit. But that I see Velveteen going that direction. It makes sense, just more bombastic and ridiculous. Like come out with a big peacock outfit and like just do it, man. Hand that shit up. Like just come out looking like a boss. Because arguably, and here's the thing, I would argue that's what Shinsuke did over in Japan because no one saw that before. Everyone tried to be a hard ass like Ishii. You got, like Suzuki Gun. You got all these people trying to just be killers. And then here comes a dude that's like, my hero is Freddie Mercury from Queen. And you're like,
Michael Jackson.
You're like, well, excuse me? But then it fucking changed the world. Like, the best, right?
Are you sure that photo isn't from some construction porno somewhere?
No, that's from Total
I feel
Nonstop
that's where it
Action
comes
Wrestling.
from.
That was one of his many
weird.
ring gears.
Oh, the Orlando,
oh my god.
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, kids, go Google search. Be sure you're not at school or work but yeah, go look up Orlando Jordan.
Don't get your parents' permission for that one.
Yeah,
Nope.
Don't do it. But yeah, I mean NXT, awesome event. Of course, I knew that Rumble couldn't beat it. I was like, there's no way. There's not a single thing on this Rumble that's going to come close to matching those last 3 matches on NXT.
Oh yes, that one.
But then they so they go to we get to the Rumble, right? First match out of the gate is the AJ versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
They made the total wrong call not having Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. Like, because here's the deal. They could have cheated. Right? They could have easily cheated. Got the belt, then talk about how fantastic they are. Oh, we're so good. Oh, no one saw it coming. We're the best. Oh, my goodness. Big hugs. How about you hold the belt this week? Now, how about I hold the belt this week? They're like the best friend gimmick, like Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens stuff. You could build that up and then have AJ on his relentless quest to get his belt back. But then, Daniel Bryan stands in his way. Well, we'll see what happens. Kind of an inverse of what's happening right now with AJ. Essentially, he didn't cheat to win. But like the way it all worked is he didn't really, Kevin wasn't really tagged in or whatever it was. There's a reason why they are upset. Like, oh, we could have won, but you guys were against us. It should have been the other way. Like, be against the babyface. That way you have like Daniel Bryan as the heel general manager, Shane McMahon as the babyface general manager. That way that balance of power type stuff. And yeah, now what do you do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
You have them fight forever against each other?
Yeah. You have them break up and it's like, it's all your fault. And then they just run that gimmick.
Which is something that basically just happened on SmackDown this week. So
really, there was a little hint of it on SmackDown.
Yep.
That'd be a good WrestleMania match.
Yeah. there was it next week on SmackDown. They're supposed to be having a number one contenders match against each other for AJ's title. So, yeah. So I mean, there's that. But the big takeaway is, I mean, AJ's champ, and going into WrestleMania, we know who he's facing. So.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Beautiful.
And you know, I was explaining to my wife, I was like, I wish they would have asked him a different question, or asked Shinsuke, what belt would you like to go after? Oh, I'd like to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. Great. Now we know the belt that he wants. Not, I'm going to fight AJ. Because now, guess what? Your next 1, 2, 3 pay-per-views, either AJ's not going to defend the belt, or we know the spoilers to that match. Because now they announced it's Shinsuke versus AJ. AJ can't lose the belt going into WrestleMania. Like, they just spoiled a good half year's worth of storylines because they're building up WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, there's only one more SmackDown pay-per-view between now and Mania, though. So, because they're not doing 2 a month anymore. So.
Match.
Yeah, that's true.
If it becomes a triple threat or whatever.
Yeah. With Ronda Rousey. No,
she walks out as champion of all the belts.
It's like that Photoshop picture of Triple H where he has them like around his neck, and like he has like 8 belts on each arm, and he's like, yeah, I'm the best champion.
Comes out looking like Ultimo Dragon.
So badass, dude. We need someone like that. Give that shit to Brock. Have Brock be like the women's tag team champion. Like, have him be like make up belts for him. Like, that's fine with me. But yeah, so the heavy metal, the heavy metal championship,
the Iron Man heavy metal weight championship would be terrific.
So badass.
Table challenge Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, the Japanese table. I am the table. But okay, so we had the Rumble. The Rumble was fine. Like, it was fine. I think the right person won.
Yeah.
Because Shinsuke was on that verge of like becoming a little old hat. Like, he would be doing the Shinsuke impression for the rest of his career. Like, where he's not really Shinsuke, but he's acting like Shinsuke used to act. Like, yeah, he'd become Randy Orton, basically. He'd be the Randy Orton. He would coast on by, he'd get the paycheck.
I do think that we need a Shinsuke heel turn, though.
Yes.
Because we need, going into this match at WrestleMania, we don't need, oh, hey, I'm good guy Shinsuke. We need killer Shinsuke. Like, I will drive my knee right through the back of your fucking skull, Shinsuke.
Yeah, we need the Wrestle Kingdom AJ versus Shinsuke match.
Yes, that is exactly what we need.
They could redo that beat for beat. I don't care. Like, we need a match like that at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
I want to see a Japanese strong style match at WrestleMania. One of these days, it's going to happen. Let it be those two. Like, because they've worked that style before. They probably won't have to wrestle the night after. I mean, maybe not. Or if it's anything like the past few years, they'll have the exact same match on Raw the night after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Let's recreate all of WrestleMania in the 3-hour Monday Night Raw. So we're going to have all of our rematches all on the same night, all the same way, in the same order. So it's like, why did I order this pay-per-view? Because I can just watch it for free on Raw.
They already give it away on freaking YouTube, so, you know, what's the point?
Well, yeah, that's... I always like that era where they would show, like, pictures, and they would have the audio playing over the pictures of, here's what happened at WrestleMania! And then it's like someone getting punched in the face, but it's like a still shot, and it's like, oh my god, he punched him in the face! Like, yeah. It was terrible, like, so bad.
We'll get the punches in the face.
Oh my god.
Slow the fuck down, bro.
That was the fastest I've ever seen a receipt given in WWE. It was within about 4 seconds.
Yep.
So you have that match.
The face.
Braun knees the shit out of Brock Lesnar's face, like a legit knee. Brock comes up out of it looking pissed. Slow the fuck down. bam, and like punches this shit out of him. Like his face contorts around his
Yep.
Then he shakes it off like a savage. I was like, oh, Braun's the real deal, man, because that punch knocks out UFC fighters. That exact punch will lights out a normal human being. And then he like shrugs it off, and I was like, Braun's a scary motherfucker.
He was a little dazed the rest of the match, but I mean, if you took that kind of shot, you would be too.
Oh, I'd be in the ER. I'd still be in the ER. Like, you're taking a punch like that from Brock Lesnar. You know, and he had the gloves on. He had the 8-ounce gloves, like the official. So he's used to punching the shit out of people with those gloves. And it was like it wasn't like a straight jab, or it wasn't an under. It was this weird hybrid, like, I'm going to nail you. Like, whatever it took to just slam it in the side of his face. Unreal. It totally was. And like he pivoted the same way.
Like
it was
his face was there.
Brutal, man. Yeah. A face was just hanging out, and it just like wow. Just takes it out. So I feel very bad for Kane. Let's just talk about the past 7 years of Kane's career.
Best of luck to you in your mayoral endeavors.
Yes.
See, I still would have thought the best thing that could have happened to Kane. You should have let Kane end Undertaker's WrestleMania streak.
Yes.
That would have been the most poetic thing. The only person that could take out Taker was his brother.
Yep.
There's your fucking story. Now they're both Hall of Famers. Great. That's a swan song. Like, he never has to wrestle again. You know, Kane is done. He can go sell used cars or whatever he does. And he's great. Like, but Kane deserves that much because he was there he was white hot during Attitude Era, man. He came in and ripped that, the door off that cage.
He was Jerry Lawler's dentist.
Yeah.
He was fake Diesel. I mean, he was there during the rough times too.
Yes. He deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And he deserves a big break. I was actually hoping that Kane would win it at the Rumble. Like, not even in a it would seem weird, but then you have these two monsters going at each other. But then you have Kane who could outsmart both of them. And I was like, all right, we could work with this. Like, have Kane outsmart them or start egging one of them onto the other. And then, like, have the two cats fight. Like, and then he steps back and he waits for his time. And then you kind of reinvent the Kane character. Like, he's demonic. He's this big guy. But, like, he'll get the better of you. Like, I thought he needs some sort of shift because even his mask has a wig still. Like,
right.
Don't do that. Like, come on, man. And if you're gonna do that, do the old Kane outfit, the full body thing with the
one sleeve.
Yeah, the one sleeve and the big like iron gauntlet thing and the just bring back the voice box. Hello, brother.
Hello, brother. Rest in peace.
They thought that was a good idea.
Yep. Then they teamed up with X-Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was the other thing. Okay, so there's this. I think I've told this before that at a house show I saw Al Snow, and during the match, whenever he came out, I high-fived him and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Al Snow, man!" And then once the match started, I got sad. Like, there's this weird emotion that came over me, and it's because I had to watch. Yeah, it's because I had to watch Al Snow wrestle. No, I'm kidding.
It's because Al is a great talent, though.
Dude, he was fantastic at the house show. But that's why I felt kind of sad, as I was like, "What's he doing here?" Yeah, I had that wave of emotion of like, Al Snow's fucking great. And he's wrestling in front of 20 people on a YMCA.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like, it was this weird, like, I don't know if that's like Schadenfreude or whatever it is. Whatever that emotion is to where you, like, see the bigger picture, like, all at the same time. And I was like, I feel really upset right now. And I don't know why. Like, he doesn't need to be here. He needs to be on SmackDown. He needs to be, like, I'm glad I get to see him work, like, 5 feet away from me so I can really appreciate it. But what's he doing in the middle of fucking Oklahoma City at a YMCA? Like, that's not what this needs to be. Like, he needs to be a superstar. And and it was that same, like, that same sensation, right? It just weird. Like, it's a weird sensation when that hits.
That was, I mean, it's very simple. Like, personally, I felt the same way when I saw Christopher Daniels at a Italian Americans building. Like,
yeah.
And I was just like, it was an NWA show, so that was cool. This is back during TNA with the NWA. So, I mean, they were using those talents. But at the same time, I was just like, wow, this is really cool, you know. Why is he here?
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what the whole Kane thing is it's like they shuffle him out a little bit. He shows up for about a month, and then he goes away, and then he comes back. And, like, he's collecting a paycheck. God bless him.
Gets crushed by an announcer's table.
Yeah, but I'm like, come on, man, that's Kane. Like, it's becoming that weird nostalgia level.
Yeah.
To where it's like, I want better for Kane. Because I know what Kane can do. I know he can go. Like, and here's the thing. The same thing for me is kind of starting to happen with John Cena, which is weird. Because I was like, Cena made that U.S. championship for 4 years.
Yeah.
Every match he had, every single one, was money. It was awesome. Like, he had the best match of CM Punk's career. He had the best match of Daniel Bryan's career. He had the best, you know what I'm saying? Like, these monster superstars, they had their best match with John Cena.
Right.
It's a testament to how good of a worker John Cena is. He's a different type of worker.
Yeah.
But, like, hell, I'm the type now that I'm going to be that guy that's going to start ordering, like, John Cena gear. Yeah, I'll wear a John Cena hat. Sure. Fuck it. Like, that guy's fantastic. You know, a bunch of smart marks will boo him or whatever. But I'm like, he can work. He's still going.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, like, with TNA, that's how I felt about AJ. I mean, he was the same thing. Like, no matter what he was doing, whether it was the X Division, tag team stuff or whatever, you put him in a match and he was giving people the matches of their careers.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's very much a same thing. And yeah, no, I could see what you're saying about, like, supporting what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as start buying his merch based on it, but but I can understand it and I can respect it. I mean, yeah, I'm a filthy mark and I don't really enjoy the Cena character. It's not for me, but I do appreciate the work he's done. So
yeah, exactly. And, like, they're propping up Roman. Roman's not ready. Like, that type of thing. But guaranteed, give it 6 years, the same feeling will be happening with Roman Reigns.
The same arguments are going to be made.
Yeah, because I think he will have worked with so many people, right, that he's going to have these kind of matches you can, like, bookmark and, like, take out and be like, okay.
I see it happening to the Miz before Roman.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, Miz is genuine Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Whenever I met Miz, he was an actual asshole. Like, he was legit a dick. And at the time, I was like, oh, fuck the Miz, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But now, him and Maurice, the best couple faction that I can remember since, like, it reminds me of, like, Savage and Elizabeth. Like, it's that, they could work that type of level. Because it's just so great. Like, here's the Miz, who's a pompous ass, and his wife, who is also a pompous ass, but very defensive of her man. And, like, you better not come close to my husband because I will rip your face off. And then, like, he knows it, right? And he's like, yeah, she's going to get you. You better not be talking shit to me. Like, you just want to beat him up. But that's what's so good. He's like Piper was. Like, he's so good at being a bad guy that you cheer for him. And, like, I always love the guys like that, to where they're so good at what they do. It's like, you can't even really be mad. Like,
so would you argue that the Maurice and Miz, managerial, thing is better or on par with Cody and Brandy?
Ooh.
Oh wow, I would say it's on par with it. Yeah, because I think they have a lot of the same dynamic now.
Yeah.
Because, and then the other thing, and here's the thing that really puts maybe the Cody one over the edge a little bit, is he has the name recognition.
Mm-hmm.
He has that additional layer of I'm part of the Rhodes family.
Right.
I can't say it, but I am.
Guess who? Yeah, guess who my dad was. Guess who my brother is. Guess who my fucking wife is. Like, he can have this whole persona just based on his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what a genius gimmick to call yourself the American Nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the American Dream. I was like, oh, the moment I saw that slogan hit, I was like, oh, he nailed it. I was like, thank you because you keep your family name alive, but you have your own spin on it. It's not the Goldust Stardust stuff. It's your own thing, but it's the polar opposite. And so now you have that timeline. You have Dusty Rhodes right here, American Dream. You got the American Nightmare, and then everything in the middle.
Goldust.
Yeah, Goldust and Stardust, and then
The
here's
natural.
and then Ron Killings is right here, so he fits in that family tree somehow. R-Truth just hanging out.
Booker T.
Booker. He's got a bicycle.
Where's the bicycle to Rita?
Ain't nobody driving in here. And Bubba got himself a bicycle. I love that he calls Big Boss Man Bubber. That's maybe the best part of it. Bubber got a. I was like, he was so drunk when he was like, hey, wow, he got a bicycle. He just screams it, and the other announcer starts laughing because he's like, what the fuck? That might be the best call in professional wrestling. Like that whole 2 minutes. Bubba got himself a bicycle. Bubber. Because that's what I loved about Dusty Rhodes on commentary is he would always break kayfabe every single time. If someone had a nickname backstage, like Green Hands or something, he would call him that on live TV, and people are like, "Who the fuck is he talking about?
Well,
what is he saying right now?"
Boss Man at the time was working under his old NWA name of Big Bubba Rogers. So
yeah, exactly. And like, I guess backstage they called him Bubber. Like he was just that's Bubber. Like, you don't call him Robert De Niro, you call him Bob. Like that's Bob De Niro. If you're friends with him, that's what you call him. So like, but to call him Bubber on television, so good. It's like such an inside shtick. We need more like crazy Dusty Rhodes commentary. Like we need someone to fit that bill. Because now King's done. They're bringing in Coach. If Coach can nail drunk Dusty Rhodes,
somehow
let it happen.
I mean, like, maybe that's the role they'll use for what is it, Jeremy Borash in NXT.
Oh gosh.
I hope so. I hope Borash just comes loaded, just ready to rock.
I mean, he's worked with Dusty before.
That's true. Oh man, see, because like I always like that side character on commentary, like not color commentary and not play by play, but like the other one, the other guy, like where. Or like all the Bobby the Brain Heenan and like Gorilla Monsoon, like, oh, would you stop? Like that type of so good. Just amazing.
Like the other guy in Dodgeball, the other commentator.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, where they have what's his face? The actor. I'm trying to. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, but yeah, I think Corey Graves fits that third wheel really well.
Oh, he does.
Oh god, yeah.
Because he's like, it's the Brian Kendrick. Like he's really upset that you didn't call him by his real name, and it's like I love it. Get this man in the Hall of Fame right now because this is the anti Michael Cole, and I can totally get behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been a coal miner, so I
did give him a standing ovation when I saw him. And something came over me.
You mentioned that before. Like,
All the kids are like,
The fuck?
this guy's cheering for Michael Cole, and I'm like, bravo, sir.
But I mean, like, Corey Graves is definitely one of, if not the best person to have doing commentary.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
him. Honestly, I would love to have. Well, fuck Byron, but nobody likes him. I mean, arguably, I would love if I could customize a, let's just say one of the games comes out and it allows you to choose who you want commentating on your shows.
Yeah.
Corey Graves, Mauro Ranallo.
Yes. I was actually going to say, if you gave me 3, I would say Mauro, Corey Graves, and Nigel McGuinness. Those 3, because Nigel would be the straight man, Mauro would be your hype guy, and then Corey would be your heel. You're done. Like,
What, no Joey Styles?
Oh my god! It's a cat fight. Like, everything would be a cat
For
fight.
a limited time, you can purchase yourself, oh my god, painted quarters.
Yeah, he would hype the dumbest shit.
Oh. Did you ever see the infomercial he did where he was selling painted U.S. quarters? After ECW folded, he got the gig he ended up getting was being one of those guys that does like that half-hour infomercial about selling shit.
Oh,
and it was the same one all the time, and it was about fresh off the print, basically painted U.S. millennial quarters.
Mm-mm.
And if you ordered now, you can get yourself for a limited time a painted Sacagawea, the first painted gold coin. It was fucking great. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. He's probably doing that shit now because he got fired from wherever he was.
Well, I mean, he's doing a lot of like social media work with stuff. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I mean,
if it wasn't for microphone. If it wasn't for
him, WWE's social media presence and such, and its digital stuff wouldn't be anywhere near where it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's actually a great point. You guys remember a WWF Live Wire?
Oh,
whenever they would do, it was basically social media before social media.
Mm-hmm.
They would do they called it like a call-in radio show, but then like, oh, just let us know, and and they had the terrible DJs. They had the whole thing. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, New York radio personality. Fucking
yeah.
Ugh. Now we get fucking Sam Roberts isn't horrible, but then we also have whatever his name is.
Rosenthal, Peter Rosenthal.
Yeah. Peter Rosenberg, who's
Rosenberg,
fuck that guy.
Yeah, they need to have a WrestleMania. JR joked on Sam Roberts' show that needs to be the opening WrestleMania match is Sam Roberts versus Peter Rosenberg. as like they get in the onesie and they like come out and is like, I am the better hype guy or whatever.
Sam Roberts hands down would get that. He'd get the W there. I mean, he's a wiry little guy.
Absolutely, he's scrappy. He's but well, hey, we've been going for an hour and a half.
What?
Good times. Hour and a half. Time flies, man. We're making up for lost time.
Yes, we are.
We will let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
That ending, the real ending, has a lot of people upset. Has a lot of people that are like, no, that makes sense. I think we discussed it a little bit on the show so far. But overall, good or bad, bringing in Ronda Rousey?
Bad.
Like, you think just totally bad?
It was a shitty thing to do because, you get the extra press and stuff like that after the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. You had somebody who would basically like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be there for Royal Rumble because I'm far away. So now you make that person look like a fucking liar. Yeah. You make the announcement that they're now a full-time WWE superstar.
Yeah.
And they signed a contract, and then you hype it on Raw and SmackDown and they don't show up.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was the real benefit besides saying, oh, hey, we got Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
And her just pointing at shit.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah. She comes out, points at stuff, shakes Steph's hand, tries to shake Asuka's hand. Asuka said, I'm having none of this shit. You know?
Yeah. Fair play. I think the only and this sounds kind of cynical and it sounds kind of bad. I think the reason why it was maybe a smart move to bring in Ronda after the Rumble, people are going to be more likely to remember it now, which sounds really bad. But here's the thing. In 6 months, if we ask who came in second in the Women's Royal Rumble, people are going to be like, we won't remember. Hell, we won't remember.
Yeah.
We do this as a weekly show. We fucking definitely won't remember who came in second. You know, it's Nikki Bella, but we won't remember then because that's not the thing we're going to remember. We're going to remember Asuka smacking away Ronda Rousey's hand.
Yeah.
Right.
The same thing with bringing in Mike Tyson. People were like, oh, this rivalry between, HBK and Stone Cold is getting crazy. Then they brought in Mike Tyson. Then both of them looked like mega stars because they pick a fist fight with Mike Tyson. I think it's going to work that same way. The only thing I don't like about the whole thing so far, because I even don't mind them keeping Ronda out of the picture for a while, or have her like Skype in, have her like kind of the same way Shinsuke made his debut against Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Where William Regal's like, by the way, your competitor is, and then it shows a live feed of Shinsuke, and you're like, holy shit. The only thing that I think is really taking away from the Ronda Rousey thing is she's just real happy to be there.
Yeah.
She's just so happy to be. She's big smiles and, hey, everyone, oh, look at all the people, woo. That's not Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey that people pay money to see is the stone jaw, I have like 1,000-yard stare in my eye, and if you get in my way, I will murder you. That's Ronda Rousey. And that's who you want to bring into WWE. You could have Asuka look like a hot shot, and then Ronda comes out, looks at her, and like pushes her over. And it's like, oh, you want to fight somebody? Let's fucking fight. And then, oh God, no, break them up, please. Like, bring in that Ronda Rousey. One, it gets to hide the fact that she's green as a whistle, because she gets to go on default mode. Like, she knows how to fight. She knows how to hype up a fight. She's done it her whole fucking career.
Yeah.
So let her do that. Like, take the reins off of her a little bit. I mean, it worked with Brock. They make Brock look like a monster and always have. Do that same thing for Ronda Rousey, but if she's coming out and shaking hands with people, hey, it's so good to see you. Oh, hi, it's like parade waving.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, come on, Ronda. Like, come out there and like do the fucking elbow that Brock Lesnar did to Randy Orton and like draw blood and be like put it on your face and be like, I'm crazy. And then like that's your game. And you're like, holy shit, Ronda Rousey's going to kill some people. And then there's your like, you better get her, someone better like get her. Like it'll be like a Goldberg entrance. They have security guards around Ronda to like protect everyone from Ronda Rousey. Make her look like an assassin. But now she's like, gee, golly shucks, leave it to Beaver, gee willikers. And it's very, very bizarre.
I mean, until her first match, at least.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the most telling. I mean, I don't think that having her go main roster right away was a good move.
Yeah.
I would have started her in NXT and such and had her do her time there, even if it's just like one feud or whatever. Have her and Baszler, work an angle with each other and go from there. It's like, oh, okay, well, we now know what kind of monster we've brought in.
Yeah, we know what talent we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like her, yeah, I agree with that. Have her kind of literally run the ropes a little bit, and just kind of because the whole athletic part of it's not going to be a problem. Like she'll nail that part. Yeah. It's just and you'll even hear this from NFL players. You'll hear this from a lot of people. They'll go into like a Tough Enough audition. They drop out second day.
Yeah,
they're like, nope. They're like, this is a whole different animal. Because there's a big difference between being like UFC ready and being wrestling ready.
Yeah.
Because just even the way you do your workouts is different. your cardio has to be way more with WWE. Way, like a scary amount of cardio.
Unless you want to look like a No Way Jose. I mean,
right, either that or you'll basically get winded all the time because you're constantly flat backing. Yeah. Like you're constantly taking these bumps that knock the air out of you. So like at UFC, you don't really have that. You might get a few blows. You might be in the, in the grind, maybe a triangle hold, something like that. Like someone's on top and they're ground and pounding. But you have some moves and you can kind of slither out and do some other stuff. But with WWE, you have to take those hits. That's the whole gimmick, is like you have to go off a turnbuckle and hit the ground and then get in an armbar. And there's a pacing that has to happen. And you have to be in crazy good shape. Crazy good shape. Like even guys like Mark Henry. I guarantee you Mark Henry's heart is stronger than a horse. Like that guy, it's like sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers are an outstanding physical condition. They don't look like it, and you're like, those guys are just big fat guys trying to hit each other. But then you see their blood work comes back perfect. They have like no bad cholesterol. Like, but that's just the build that they need to do that work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could outlast people running marathons. You know what I mean? It's just a different type of physical conditioning. And I don't know if we'll see if Ronda's ready for that. Like, will this be a minute-long squash match that she'll do? Kind of the same way they protected Goldberg. It's like, just come in the first 2 times and squash people. You don't got to be on 2 minutes. We know you're going to gas out. Then you can work your way up to WrestleMania where you fight for about 15 minutes and then you're good.
And that's one reason why I think that they'll probably go with the tag match angle, the mixed tag. Yeah. Because it gives her time to catch her breath and everything like that.
Yeah, less time to, rest holds and, Oh, I'm going to reach in. Please tag my arm. Oh, well, no, you missed. Yep. And then, go on for 45 minutes and you only wrestle 7 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally fair. And, of course, if it's a big draw, Trips is going to find a way to put him and his wife in there.
Of course.
But hey, you know what? If I owned a company like that, I'd probably fucking be on
the same thing.
Oh, dude, yeah. It would be, if I had WWE Magazine, it would be my face every single month. It'd just be me in different poses. Like,
like the Spider-Man head on the lower part of a comic book cover.
Right. Just my branding seal of approval.
Yeah. See, and I think that's where I differ, because if I was in that kind of position, I would you make the little appearance, so people know you, but you're like, hey, listen, hi, these are the guys you're here to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. If I'm going to run the book, or whatnot, that's all I want to do. I don't want to be there and be like, I'm running the book, but I'm also running matches.
But I'm also, I'm one of the boys, and I'm gonna, See, and I think the Triple H character would be way more effective. Like now, I would love to see that Triple H CM Punk angle they were trying to do back in the day. Yeah. I would love to see it now, because this is like prime ripe storytelling for it, because Triple H does have that cockiness of like, oh, well, I run this business, so you can't tell me what to do. And then you would have someone like CM Punk be like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And then you start building up that rivalry again. But yeah, I would say Triple H is the most effective if he would wrestle once every 2 years. And he would come out as like number 30 in the Rumble. Or something. Like a huge surprise. You don't expect it because the guy never wrestles anymore. He's doing all the stuff on the books. He's still in great shape, but he just doesn't wrestle anymore. We just make peace with that. But then you're like, okay, who's going to be up against like Brock Lesnar, or who's going to be up against John Cena? John Cena's retirement match. Oh, whoever wants to fight me, I'd love to fight anybody. And then Triple H's music hits.
It's time to play the game.
And then you're like, whoa, the fucking boss is going to retire John Cena. Holy shit. Then now it becomes a new thing. But yeah, if he's in every pay-per-view, if he's in every Monday Night Raw, who cares? It's not fun to see anymore.
No.
But yeah, I think bringing in Ronda's a good idea, because I think it could bring even more legitimacy to the women's division. It'll make it more expansive, different types. More stacked, different types of athletes will want to join the company. Like, if they got Ronda Rousey, like, what's to say if Holly Holm doesn't have 2 bad fights in UFC? If she's like, Ronda's making how much money? Let me dabble in that WWE.
But I mean, even though that's the case, like, there's so many good women, female talent that are being overlooked because of shit like this. I mean, I would have loved to see Toni Storm,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see her have a contract. I would have loved to see Viper or Piper Niven with a contract, and it's just not happening. Now they're in, they're working the circuit, they're doing Stardom, and all the other stuff. Hell, even, take somebody like Mercedes Martinez, right? Mm. She's been in the business for so goddamn long. She's put her time in. Yeah, she was in the Mae Young Classic and so on and so forth. But even if you brought her in as like a trainer for the Performance Center, or something like that, I mean, there's so many different avenues, and they're neglecting it. They're neglecting all they can, because right now, first off, we're on let's raid TNA mode. I mean, that's
for sure.
I mean, there's that, and let's get the UFC fighters that aren't doing UFC anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, potentially, since that foundation's already getting laid, and they're talking about, well, we're going to make history every month, and this time it's the very first women's triple handicap on a pole retirement match. We're making history. Like, they're starting just to use that gimmick over and over. Like, oh, now here's a new thing. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
The first ever women's feast or fired match.
Yeah, the first women's casket match, and you're like, great, like, awesome. But what this will do, I'm hoping, if this expands out the division and they bring in more women, what's to say that they're like, you know what? Here's making history, an all women's pay-per-view. Suck it. Not a single dude on that whole roster is allowed on this show. But now you have that star power. You have the top end. You have your mid-carders. You have that bottom end of the new people coming up. This could be where that's headed, and I hope so. I hope they're leveraging Ronda's star power to bring in more star power around the world. Like,
that's what I think that's happening.
Everybody come into like NXT, a developmental deal. Let's make the women's division not even a division, but like, what if the women had their own 205 Live? What if the women had their own NXT? What if the women had their own show? Period. Like, totally. Like, get that roster 80 people deep, please. Like, hire as many amazing women's wrestlers as you can find. Get them all.
One thing, and this touches on the Women's Rumble. I mean, you take out the champions, and there was only 16 women. I mean, 17 women that were between the two rosters.
And you had to call on the amazing technical prowess of Kelly to really just that was great to me, because it showed, thank God we're not in the bra and panties era anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, because she was not very good.
But then we also got Lita, and I mean, and that was that was nice. That was
great.
That was terrific.
And it was good to have that moment of Trish and Mickie James. It was great whenever everyone in the crowd saw what was happening, and then it became a standing ovation. Like, yeah, absolutely. Yep. And like, I marked out double, because like, 2-3 weeks ago, I was at the house show and got to like shake hands with Mickie James. And, hey, how are you? Good. Blah, blah, blah. So like, really, really awesome, right? She's the sweetest girl in the world. So like, hanging out and all that stuff.
Hardcore country.
And, yeah, absolutely. And it was great. She had like the crazy pigtail thing that she had at the Rumble, and so it was like they were prepping for that. And but yeah, and then seeing her get that moment at a huge pay-per-view, and I was like, oh, good. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm hoping that the whole bringing in Ronda and kind of reframing the women's division. What my real hope is there's not even really a classification of the women's division anymore. Like, that Ronda, or hell, Asuka or Bayley, or you have people like Liv Morgan. Shit, why not? Like, Liv Morgan's gonna main event Raw. Not because we're making history, but because, shit, she's in the best feud on the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I hope ends up happening. Honest to God, and USA will never let it happen. I was hoping this mixed tag match was kind of like seeing if like what about intergender matches?
Yeah.
What about?
I mean, we got Candice LeRae now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a master at them, man. She's great at the intergender matches, and I would love to see it.
And when they were hyping her up, they kept on talking about the matches she's had with Kevin Owens and this one and that one, like, and just naming people on the roster she's worked against. That's like, guys.
How badass would it be? Let's say Finn Balor has the belt and says, "There's no man back there that can beat me. I got my belt." And then Asuka's music hits, and she's like, "You're absolutely right. There's not a man back there that can beat you. I'm gonna take your ass out, kid." Like, oh my god, the bat, right? You see that match, and you're like, "Oh, this is heaven." Genius,
I just want a lights out balls plex. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Just lights go out and come back on. You hear balls plex. And just fucking Candice LeRae just fucking hitting somebody with one the guy. I would love to see her do it to somebody like you would never expect she could, and just like kind of sell her as like she's this fucking freak of strength.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Have to do it to like Braun. Like hits Braun with a balls plex.
Oh,
and
that'd be incredible.
Yes.
The first one she has to do has to be Johnny Gargano, though. It has to, like, it just has to be. Why not?
Well, the first one would have to be Ciampa.
Yeah.
Second would be Gargano.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he starts sassing, like, "Good job, babe," and she's like, "Shut up." Like, whoa. Yeah.
I mean, I know we touched on, well, we talked about TakeOver, but we didn't talk about the attack afterwards. The butterfly effect that happened with Ciampa hitting Gargano, and then on the other side of the world, Kota and Kenny ended up reuniting.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful butterfly effect, don't you think?
Wonderful. So good. Oh, that reuniting thing was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Like the way they handled it. And then I don't know if you guys saw the newest episode of Being the Elite
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Part of it.
The ending was awesome. I like how Kota's in his hoodie. He's just like, "What's up, guys?
What's going on? I'm here."
Yeah, doing cool. Yeah, all right. Come on in, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it gave me the feels. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where you're just like, oh shit. Like, first off, they're going with this, and now they're playing with my emotions. Like, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
So,
and like, what it's gonna be great because Kota's doing his own thing. Golden Star, all that stuff. So then you have Kenny, and now there's gonna be this pooling of like who does he want to go? I hope this is the build up for Kenny and Kota's Wrestle Kingdom match next year. I'm hoping beyond hope that, like, "You betrayed me, you are my best friend," and then they have this big giant rivalry, and they need that one last match, that one payoff match, and that didn't even need to be for a belt, and it could main event Wrestle Kingdom, because that's two of arguably the two biggest Japanese superstars on earth. I mean, it is what it is, and just to pay that off, and then that way, because isn't Kenny's contract up next year?
Yep.
Sometime
January.
There you go. I mean, it could happen.
And it sets everything in motion for the rest of the other contracts that are going to expire later this year. The Bucks, for example. We don't know what's going on with Skrull, but I think that if given an opportunity, he would make the jump.
Oh yeah.
Though I wouldn't put him on 205 Live because him and I think he could do good work there. Don't get me wrong.
He's too big for it, I think.
No, he's in that weight limit, that ridiculous 205 pound.
Not weight wise, over wise.
Well, no, see, that's what they want though. They want people that are over so they get more eyes on the product.
The roster.
Yeah.
But the only problem I'm seeing is the legitimate heat he has with their new general manager.
Yeah.
Him and Spud. I mean, Drake Maverick.
What a name! What a 1980s action movie name.
I love it.
Drake Maverick.
They have heat dating back to TNA's British Boot Camp.
Oh, okay.
Spud ended up getting a contract. He didn't. Apparently, a lot of that had to do with the heat between the two. So
interesting.
Yeah.
See, someone they need to utilize more, because I want them to start signing more of those bigger names onto like NXT and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I need to see do some more wrestling, man, is Trent Seven. Get his ass on NXT, please. Weekly, every week.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Pete Dunne's got the crazy rub. Tyler Bate, of course, because that guy's he's a dynamo.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's a supernova. He's 19.
Mm-hmm.
For God's sake, he can't even drink legally, and he's doing like match of the year shit.
At least not here. He could go to Canada.
Well, yeah, that's true. Fair play. But then yeah, like Trent Seven. Ever since I saw that Eugene Nagata Trent Seven match, I was like, this is perfect. Like anyone that can work with Nagata that well that I've never heard of before that day.
Yeah,
this guy deserves the world. Like, just.
I mean,
genius.
I would as far as say that I would love to see WWE utilize British Strong Style in general as a group.
Oh, faction!
I
Can
think
you
that'd be
imagine
great.
British Strong Style versus Finn and the Good Brothers? Like, absolutely.
And
Bring that in. Yeah, War Machine, and I mean.
And if you need to add a little extra layer in that, have Regal be their manager.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be great.
Because not only is it like a general manager thing, but it's also, I'm the GM of NXT, but I'm also British, and these are my guys. Like,
Yeah, this is hometown turf.
yeah.
I like it.
Just have him have the sad, or not the sad face, but the William Regal upset face all the time, like the pouty mouth, like the. Oh, it's so good.
They start coming out. Regal starts coming out with them. The music changes like instantly, and he's just like,
oh, and so Jack Gallagher was hyping something on Twitter. I can't remember what it was, but he was hyping something about big changes were happening and that the effects would be very Regal. And like the way he's like name dropping stuff, and I was like, something about to happen? Something about to happen on 205 Live, or what's going on?
I mean, I hope what it means is that they're demoting him to NXT so he can actually do something.
Yeah. He's such a good talent and like a good hand. But I see him having one of those deals that what's his face from Vaudevillains, the sing
Aiden English.
Yeah, Aiden English. Like how he's now the Rusev Day announcer.
Oh, the
like,
high man.
Yeah, which is hilarious. I love it. Like, and then
Get your calendars.
Rusev Day, and then Rusev's like he spat Rusev Day. Like I was like, that. Who knew that head bobbing could be a gimmick? Like just doing that. That's your whole shtick.
Yeah,
just makes me laugh. Oh my goodness! But wrestling, as always, pretty good stuff. Pretty
just
good
way
stuff.
too much in a weekend. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Still real to me.
Yeah. Still real to me, damn it.
Arguably, just between the WWE stuff, it was like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And then you factor in New Japan, and those were between the two shows. I want to say like 9 hours. So it was like 21 hours of wrestling in a weekend, and it just
golly.
And me, I'm the idiot that's like, oh, I'm going to keep up with all of it.
Yeah. Nope.
Now, I will say I'm happy that WWE is only doing one pay-per-view a month, except for in May, they're doing 2 because it's a 5-week month. But other than that, I mean, it gives them time to build their stories properly as opposed to this rushed bullshit we had last year. It's going to be less fatigue on people. And yes, I'm being selfish here. It's going to be less fatigue on me.
Right, yeah, for sure. And I mean, talent, I mean, they'll have time to rest.
I mean, they'll still be working their shows. Like for the talent, there's not a huge difference except for, now we don't have just need the big talent on this Sunday every month.
Right. Yeah.
Like we can have the Ascension work matches on a Sunday. We can have Breezango do matches on a Sunday. I mean,
there's our headline for WrestleMania: Breezango versus the Ascension. I dig it. Hey, I would too. Shit. They probably tear the house down.
I mean, I've been saying for a while the Ascension. They need to do something good with the Ascension. Because.
Oh yeah, those guys are fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean they're completely and totally buried now. I mean, yeah, you got the Bludgeon Brothers, and they, which I'm kind of liking a bit more. Then again, I'm a fucking Luke Harper mark, so I mean, there's that. I mean, he's a great talent. But yeah, I mean, just fucking do something with these. Put them on Raw, have them feud with people. Yeah. I mean, reinvent them if you have to. Have them come out like the fucking Southpaw stuff, where they're the
oh yeah.
The Top Guns. I mean, whatever.
Yes. That was at the house. Yeah, before they started the house show, or it was like intermission or something at the house show. They showed some footage of a behind the scenes thing, and I don't know what like show it was on, but it was basically Breezango and the Ascension, but they did each other's like intros or whatever. So they dressed as each other. Yeah, that was hilarious. Because, you have the Ascension dressing as Breezango with the selfie stick and stuff and, like, kissing at it with their big, giant beards. And, like, it was genius. So good. I was like, please do that. Just, like, what would happen? They need to do, like, a really dumb story to where they drink, like, a magical potion or something. And, like, now they think...
Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, where they did the Matt Hardy Woken stuff, the river or the pond of like memories, and then like Shane Helms
reincarnation.
Yeah, then Shane Helms comes out as the Hurricane. Like they need that to get people like the Ascension to like dress up like the Easter Bunny, or who cares, right? Just get them on TV. Like who cares about like taking them seriously as badasses? Because like they're not on TV anyway. So I'd rather get paid and be on television rather than just sitting around and catering.
That's one of the reasons why I feel they got used as much in the Fashion File stuff, was because otherwise they're just there. People forget they're there, and I mean, Ty Dillinger became part of it for a little bit too. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I
guess we'll see. Yeah, WrestleMania main event will be Pete Rose in the chicken outfit versus the gobbledygooker. That's what,
against Mayor Kane.
Mayor Kane.
Ric Flair, Colonel Sanders.
Oh, so good. Right. Whenever he came out as the official one, I like stood up in my seat and I was like, yes, sir. Absolutely. Because I just remembered his Southpaw promos.
Yeah.
The crispity. Woo!
Try our brand new Nashville. Woo! And spicy chicken.
They couldn't afford Ric Flair, but they got me.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that whole thing again. Anyways, guys, that is our time. Almost the 2-hour mark. We're 2 minutes away from 2 hours. 2-hour show. Good old podcast. We made up for lost time. Consider it a gift. It's February right now. A gift of February. A 2-hour podcast.
Valentine's gift.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But hey, next episode 50, I think we will have that specific podcast announcement.
Nice.
So I'm saying that might be how we open up that show. I think that's a good little anniversary present.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Best way to celebrate 50.
That's right. Besides that and like Jaeger. Well, guys, that's our time. I'm just mix it with cream soda. It's better. I'm Wes Gardner.
That.
We got Todd EBF. We got Moriarty, and we got Marco Flores. This has been Brothering Around, and we will see you guys very soon. Next episode, number 50. Be here. Big announcements, big plays, $1 million, all that good stuff. Ooh, like the Titans making moves.
You made me think of Smash TV, like big money, big prizes. I love it.
That's like a perfect. VCRs. Oh, that's perfect.
All those toasters and shit.
Hey, you never know with us. You never know. That is very true. But we're gonna see you guys next time here on Brothering Around. Until then, peace.